you're not going to be flimsy, and they're not going to tear it up. And
They look like they're.
I don't send anything
Oh, yeah,
to
they're-
the laminator unless it's like a safety strip, because it's not
them.
worth it. All that hard work you do to make it, you need to make sure that you're investing in that cardstock and in that laminate, because you're going to use some of the stuff she's used for 4 years.
I've had 4 or
and
5,
it's still
some of the stuff I've
holding.
had 6 or 7 years now. And what I do, they just those, I make them, cut them out, I hole punch the corner, and I buy those binder rings, and I put the rings on, they last forever.
And the
They're very
laminate
sturdy.
I ordered off of Amazon, and it's like for 100 sheets of the 5 mil, which is more expensive, it's $20.
And right now there's a sale, 15 something,
Why
so I
don't you
ordered
get
some
on
more
it?
the other
Because
day.
if you
So
go
if you find
to
them,
Target or Walmart, you're gonna pay $20 for like 15, 20 sheets, and it's not worth it. If you get that 5 mil, not the 3, the 5, and that personal laminator, it's worth it. She'll put all the time on Facebook,
And
and she's
look, and
cutting
don't
and
tell you
laminating.
gotta do everything in 1 year.
No.
But you just go to Kat, say, Kat, next week I'm teaching blah, 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 show me where
yeah,
that
please
is,
do,
and
because
just
if you get in
try
there,
it.
you might lose your mind. I know where it is, and I swear I tried
She
my best
also
to break
told
it
me
down,
she would-
but
Kat gets here early in the morning, but she leaves when the bell, she leaves on time. So, but she said over to me this year more than once, she does not mind staying
I
after she
don't.
knows she needs to help somebody.
Yeah, I just
So
leave
if
'cause I can.
If you wanna stay with her for an hour after school and pick her brain,
please do.
let her know.
I want to show you one, two, for like the young ones. Like if you look in here, ELA, and it does, ELA 1 doesn't look like much, but then you click on phonics, and there are hundreds of files in here. EAOU, short E, for every single thing there might be 2 or 3. But the thing is, they might be made, they're mucking around. You know, I know what they are, because a lot of them will have like goofy names, like, magical E, I know what they are. So if you say if you're going to work on, you're working on short E, or you're working on CH, whatever, let me know, and I'll just say, Kat, I'm working on so-and-so, what's the name of that? Or I'll shoot it to you. I've got it at home. I'll just email it to you. So feel free. Just please don't give them away to your sister-in-law in Memphis.
Exponents, Kat. You got exponents? A little high, I know.
Okay, this is how we're gonna finish up. I'm going to have our mentor teachers talk to you a little bit about any experiences that they've had, that they've done amazing, if they're doing that, whether it's build a relationship or whatever that they want to share. And then I just want to tell y'all one thing, and then we're gonna have our, question and answer, okay? And our mentors and our teachers are here so that they can help answer. I also want to, I was looking at you a minute ago, I want to just recognize Melanie for a second. For the new teachers, she was a master teacher last year, and this year she's got her new position, and she has done an outstanding job. It has been overwhelming, trying to get interventions in place, a progress monitoring tool and process, and so you have already started, or you're going to be telling them in cluster?
We've started, but we're going to be telling the new teachers some more.
Okay, so you're going to get some information in cluster about progress monitoring. So I want to thank you for staying too. Melanie might be able to answer some questions for the question and answer session. Last thing I have is Ms. Rivera. We've got some extra Title I money, and Ms. Rivera, I need you to help me to get this done like tomorrow. I made a list of all the new teachers, and then a list of teachers, our administrators in our huddle meeting. We came up with some teachers that we thought would be great for you to observe. So we're going to get you a half-day sub. The thing about it is that Ms. Navarra has to turn it into Title I 2 weeks in advance and has to be approved. It's just a process. So we're not going to have the luxury of you saying, I want to go see this teacher on this day and this teacher. No, we're going to say, this is your half day and this is where you're going. Just because if not, we will be here till Christmas trying to get it done. So Ms. Navarra's going to help me get that organized. You're going to get a half day, and in that half day, we had said 2 people. We wanted you to see 2, so it would be kind of a long, deep lesson and not just, 30 minutes here and 30 minutes here. But so in some people, I might have 3 people for you to see, but when you talk with that person or those people and you say, okay, I'm coming to see you, y'all got to coordinate that schedule of that day. Okay, that teacher may have to make some adjustments. You might, we don't know. It's going to be very complicated, and I cannot micromanage that. So you're going to have to step up to the plate and figure that out. working around enrichment and all that, you may have to come to me and say, Miss LeBlanc, you gave me this teacher, there's no way I can go observe this teacher on this day. She's doing this, 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 and this. And then we'll revamp, okay? All right, and last thing is question, so I want y'all to share, and then we'll do questions and answers. Y'all both come up. Kat, if you think you need to interject.
Well, I first want to say, Miss Kathy's gonna laugh at this, but I had my hair cut the first year, so if I came back after that, you all can come back to it. I literally had to go cut my hair.
Yeah, a child cut her hair.
Cut my hair, yeah. I guess I
Like a
could.
lot of her hair, like a big piece
It
about
was,
this.
I said, thank goodness it was long, because I mean, if you want to know the story, I'll tell you later. I can laugh about it now, it was not funny.
I mean, I kind of laughed, but
He was a special, he was one of my very, very special friends. I guess I'm gonna tie mine back into one of her signs of stability, and that was, now that I reflect on that first year, a lot of it I might have brought on myself, new to Montessori, new to all that. I may not have had all the routines and procedures that I needed in place, and I didn't utilize some of the veteran teachers that I probably should have, and I kind of learned the hard way. So I'm sure, I hope all of you have, utilized some of your mentors, but, just having routines and procedures and being consistent with the children. Every day is the same. We come in the same. We start our day the same. They know what's exactly expected of them. And I know that first year I was all over the place trying to figure out what I needed to do. How do I do this Montessori material? How do I have this CAT strategy done? So I didn't have that stability that the children needed, and it showed with a lot of the behaviors and a lot of the issues that I saw in my classroom. So a lot of it just came with time and practice and learning from my mistakes, but also started utilizing some of the resources that I had at the school to help me out. And I tell Ray and Gabby, I work with them a lot, and I know it's hard when you start out trying to figure out everything. So I tell them, pick one thing, give it 110%. Once you have that mastered, move on to the next, and eventually everything will come together. So I guess that's very good advice.
The first year was tough, we're not gonna lie. And every year it does get better. But the one thing that works for me, and some of you in here have my little babies, but they're not little anymore, and they're coming, the teacher coming to me and saying, okay, this kid's doing this kid's doing that, and how can I help? And one thing is, I guarantee you, if you say, will Ms. Walker be pleased with you, or will she be happy with you, they will let you know. Because they respected me, and they know that I love them. And I tell them the same expectations I have for them is the same that I have for this little girl over here. I'm not gonna let her run in this school, I'm not gonna let you run in this school. I expect her to try your best, I expect you to try your best. And that's one thing we talk about a lot of is being a family. And we talk about if your brother or sister, if someone was picking on them, how would you feel? What would you want to do? And that's just, you have 20-something brothers and sisters in this classroom. I'm your mom at school in a sense. I have to protect you. I have to make sure you're doing your work. We work as a team. Well, if one person's not doing their job, how can you win a football game if this one Saints player isn't doing their job? They're all going to come crumbling down. So we talk a lot about family and about teamwork, and we never, ever, ever put down on somebody. So and we talk about it, and it's open, and I get permission from the kids, and I'll say, can I explain your story? They'll say yes. And I'll say, look, here's this kid here. When I had him last year, he had trouble reading. Look where he's come now, and his face lights up. Even though you might think that's a negative thing, that, okay, I'm sitting here saying that he couldn't read, but to him, where he couldn't read to where he's now reading, to him is a big boost, and Miss Walker's telling everybody, so it makes them feel really good about themselves. And we always say that we can't, and that you never say you can't. And I also always tell them, I don't care if you get an F, I don't care if you get a D. What do I care about? They'll say that we do our best and we put forth effort. And they'll say that we put forth effort. Because if they're not giving their best, no matter how much I teach and how much I teach, they're not going to want it. They're not going to comprehend it until they're ready for it. And if I believe in them, because we all know where they come from, those parents, most of them don't believe in them. They just shove them off to us to raise them and take care of them. Well, if I was in that situation, the tables were turned, I would want someone to love my child at school and protect my child at school, and so that's what I have to do for them. They know that every day, good morning, how are you today? If you are here, I'm so glad you're back. Every day, bye baby, I love you, have a good day, see you tomorrow. Especially my bad ones. Bye, I'll use a name. Bye, and he was rough today. Bye, Jaden, I love you. I love you, Jade. I love you too, Miss Walker, because I want them to realize I really do. And especially when it's a rough day, I'm gonna make sure you say I love you too, because they need to hear that and feel that. And a lot of them don't get love. I had one, and she Miss Tyresha, she gave me a run for my money the first year I had her for first and second grade. She was in transition. I mean, she tore up my room left and right. And I could have said, Miss LeBlanc, I don't want this kid. Don't give her back to me. I'm not doing it. I could have done that. And I had a handful of kids. I said, no. She came back that year, and I said, Tyresha, baby, I love you. I said, I know we had a rough year last year. I'm not worried about that. It's new. Was it the same for a while? Yeah, but we worked on it, and she knew what I expected of her. She knew I loved her, and I made her responsible for her behavior. She wrote her own reflections. She even wrote her minor referral one day, and let me tell you, she did not like that, and she never wrote one again. Because for her, she had to take control of that. And I tell my kids all the time, I said, in 10 years, I'm going to open up that paper and see you've done something with your life. I'm going to open it up and see that you're in trouble with the law or anything like that. And the third grade teachers, I don't know if it gets on their nerves or not, but those kids are coming back. They're always wanting to come see me. Can I go see Miss Walker? Can I go see Miss Walker? Yesterday, Miss James was like, because we're doing our pictures, and Jalen's like, and I don't know what it was for having those kids for 2 years, my second year and third year here. There was a bond there that when I tell you, I cried to give them to third graders. I literally was in tears. They were in tears. And one came to me the first day of school. I said, hey, Janai, hey, baby, I love you. I give her a hug. She started crying. And my aunt, you can ask Haley and Kristen, like, I'm tears. She's like, Miss Walker, I don't want to leave you. I said, baby, it's time. I've had you for 2 years. It's time for you to go, baby. She did not want to, because we built that family.
That's what keeps you
and that's
coming back,
basically
right?
all of my third graders.
Everyone will have that one.
They did not want to leave, and we built such a strong relationship. It's key. When they have a bad day, don't hold it against them. The next day they come in, hey buddy, it's a new day, let's start over. Because they're so used to at home, you were like this, Jessica, you were like this. They don't need that. You know, think about it when, I don't know if anyone had a rough life. Mine was not the best growing up. I came to school and I went through a lot of what these kids went through, and this was my safe haven. This is where I needed someone to love me and not go back and tell my mama anything so I would get more trouble when I got home. And people think because I'm a teacher, I didn't have a bad life. People don't know because you make those choices, and that's what I tell my kids. They don't know the details. They know my dad died when I was 6 months old. They know that my mom was a single mom. They know that we didn't have a lot of money. They don't know some other stuff. But they know that I could have made that choice to stay there, or I could have done something with myself. And so a lot of them say, well, that's how I grew up. No, it's a choice you make. And when you put that into them, then they start believing it, and they start growing academically. And then I still see my kids in 6th grade now, and they'll still say, hey, Miss Walker. They still know me by name. That's 7 years ago I had them for pre-K, and I still see them over there. So, yes, we might not make that immediate impact on those kids, but if they can still remember me from 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and come and give me a hug, that's what means the most to me. You know, so think about that. It's really, I know it's hard because they come to you dirty, they come to you stinky, they come to you without breakfast, or they come to you without their homework done. But you have to build that relationship with them and love them unconditionally, just like you would your own child.
They know.
They know I'm going to protect them.
Relationships really, I should have piggybacking off that. It really is. And this is something that I've just started doing 4 years into this. At the end of the day, when we're packing up and I'm doing folders, I'll go around and I'll say, I love the way that Montreal was doing his 100 board quietly. So I let them, it can be like the smallest thing that just lets them know that, hey, I wasn't right on top of them, but I noticed and that I watched and that I saw that they were doing their work. You know, and that's the best thing ever for them. Like they all sit and wait for me to, say their name. Like that's just it.
And hug them, even if they are filthy. Hug them.
Oh, yeah.
Just hug them. Or if they're, like I have some kids that are like, come here, baby, let me fix your shirt. We're going to fix, you treat them like you would your own kid. I say it all the time, they're my kids. I have them. I have 100 and something kids, however many I've taught. Those are my kids. They will always be my kids. And that's the only thing I can say to you that's really going to impact what you do in that classroom is loving them, hugging them, because there's research shown that when they're hugged and talked to as infants, They do better in life, they stay out of trouble. When they're missing it, when they're little, those are the ones who are in jail, those are the ones who are stealing. We can make a difference even if it's in first and second grade. It's a little bit harder as they get older, but they're gonna, if you make that relationship with them, they're gonna remember you 5, 10 years down the road when they're getting in trouble. I even have talks with adults, motivating them. So just, that's the only thing I can say. And it really touches me well because I've seen it for the last 2 years with my kids and watching them leave me and not want to. I'm not the best teacher in the world, I by no means, but that is one thing that I make sure we do every day and get them to love each other. Because that's hard.
The way you made them feel. Thank y'all. Awesome. Thank you.
Talk about stability. I was here before this one source. This is my 7th year in this building. And when Hammond Westside Primary was no more, and we were going to become Hammond Westside Montessori, we tried to tell the kids none of your teachers are going to be here next year, which is difficult. It was difficult. I mean, and I don't think a lot of the kids understood that. That, you know, they're just not going to be here. Your family's not going to be here anymore. The first day of school, when we first started, we started opening up Montessori school, and we were so excited. And the kids walked in. It was beautiful the first day. It was gorgeous, but it was, where's Miss, finally some kids didn't see me because they knew me. Where's Miss Austin? Where's so-and-so? Where's all, their school was gone.
Same building.
Right, there was two. And that was it. So I was looking at a few faces that was here before. Boy, there was a brand new school. This isn't Hammond Westside anymore. So anyway, but think about stability, and when the kids walk in every year, where's the so-and-so? Because even if you're not that kid's teacher, which I wasn't, I didn't teach those kids, but they were happy to see me. And the other thing, real quick, we're building relationships, and this is one story, and I've been using it since then. The first year that I taught here, I taught in Punch Children before, completely different. I had a little boy every time you gave me something, threw it on the ground, I'm not doing this, turn the desk over, throw the desk, you know, it was wonderful. And then one Monday morning, I looked at him, and I enjoyed this job. Anyway, I looked at him and said, I don't know what he said, what did you do this weekend? Oh, I had football practice. Oh, really? You play football? Really? What team do you play for? Da-da-da-da. Came in the next morning, you have football practice? Yeah, so good time. Okay. What are you doing? Just nothing conversation.
Yeah.
Just a nothing conversation. He had come back because that one, because, yeah, it was personal. It had nothing to do with school, nothing to do with academics, and it was personal. You know, how so, and it was just that one little football thing. So if you take the kid that you have the worst problems with, what did you do this weekend? Or the kid that you notice is always going down the hallway with a fist like this. And you know there's always the same kid. This little girl, so cute. You got him. And every time that kid sees you coming down the hallway, they're going to put his hands behind their back and they're going to do it. But something that has nothing to do with academics. And that's, I got to go. But,
Any questions for our seasoned people who are here that maybe they can answer now, or you can put it on the parking lot if you want to do that? Anybody have any questions or anything?
My big thing was textbooks. I don't have textbooks or teachers, or, like, I have an idea of what I'm supposed to teach with fractions, but I have no idea where they're at in the 4th grade level, so that I can, even though mine are not at that level, but to at least give them at grade level. I've gotten 2 storytelling books from them, but I haven't gotten any more. But I would love to have a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade book for the subjects that I teach, just to have an idea of where to start with them.
You can either, have you asked both of the librarians for that? Or do you have
I've asked them only for storytelling because I didn't realize they had math and everything too.
ask
I'll
them
ask for
first of all
everything.
if they have it, and then if not, let me know, and we'll see if we can get it for you from somewhere else.
Also, the student textbooks are online.
Yeah, I use Think Central
Okay.
a lot, but that is the only.
No,
The only
so
resource
is
I have.
Pearson, the math and the science.
Yeah, I'll email you the parent newsletter is similar to the Bits and Bytes, but it's for parents.
Right.
And it has all the logins for their actual textbooks, for every textbook. Math, science, social studies, everything.
Okay, any other questions or anything? We've got a door prize, no more questions. All right, Ms. Navarre, you got the numbers here, I'm gonna call, I'm gonna